Hey, thanks for joining us for this week's training tip. This week I'm going to go over an exercise that I do a lot on, whether it be a futurity colt, a rope horse, cow horse, any kind of a performance event. This exercise is going to be beneficial. And what it is, I'm going to use a stationary object in the arena to work this horse and make sure this horse is soft in its head, neck, and shoulders and rib cage, and that it's staying on its hind end. And when I mean staying on its hind end, I want this horse to get in the habit of using this hind quarter as its balance point, okay, as its pivot point, and to stay balanced on that hind quarter. So when I'm doing this exercise, the reason I use a cone or a barrel or a tire or whatever is so that I can squeeze my horse forward and maintain that softness in her face and keep my distance from that stationary object the same. That way I know if I'm controlling my horse's body and keeping it consistent. I think sometimes what happens when you're working your horse in a circle is because you don't have this stationary object to determine the distance away from it the whole time you're working it. Sometimes your horse gets to drifting in and out and you don't realize it, and then when you go to work an object like this where it's in one spot, getting your horse to move around that object, staying soft, staying behind the bridle and keeping its hip in, you can become inconsistent with that, and your horse is not staying that same distance away from that object all the way around and staying soft in your hands. This is an excellent exercise for any horse, really in any discipline, because the challenge with softness is when you put movement with it. It's real easy to get your horse soft while you're standing still, but it's much more difficult and much more challenging for your horse to keep that softness when you're performing a maneuver or an exercise. So that's our training tip for this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do some more on this same tip next week.